welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who just stole a jacket off of a scarecrow. It's Joe B.
Yes, what's up, man?
I saw your number one of 2021, Spencer.
Spencer, baby.
That movie features the best soup eating since Billy Madison.
Yes. Eat your soup, Billy. No, dude, that movie blew me away, dude, because it surprised me and it kind of like cast a spell on me.
Oh,
You know how it's very spellbinding, and the beauty of it, like, for one, it was robbed of cinematography
Robbed.
and score, I think. Yeah, like I didn't expect much. All right, I'm gonna get through this because it's like the Princess Diana biopic. It's been talked about forever. And I was just mesmerized like the entire time. And like, it's funny when I look back because I'm like, it might not be my favorite movie, but like, I'm not letting go of it at number one because it was like my most like magical experience. But also I feel like no one else has it at one. And it's just such a beauty. And then like, I love that ending of them in the car because it like brings in like, it has this like such serious dark tone. And then like, I like a complete movie. So it brings in this like fun thing. I was listening to that song all like for weeks after, but yeah, like I just thought it was just the most beautiful like thing I ever seen. And then like the other thing is like it didn't resemble. I don't really seek out biopics. You know, I think Tick Tick Boom's probably the best like traditional biopic of the year, even though it's not that traditional being a musical. Spencer was just everything but it. Like I went in knowing nothing about Princess Diana and I left like knowing nothing about her. But I like felt like I knew her, like the essence of her. Like I spent 3 days with her and the shit was just intimate, bro.
That should have been on the DVD cover. That makes a lot of sense. You know nothing about her, but you know her because you spent that time with her.
It's like the essence of her. And the fact that it doesn't just like take her Wikipedia and just like act it out on screen. Like it's literally just this depth of it. And it says it before, like, you know, the true tragedy of like events, whatever could happen. I forgot the opening line that they put in the theater, but in the movie, but I'm like, based on a true something, you know
fable.
what I'm talking
Isn't
about?
it like a fable? Didn't they use the word fable?
Yeah, something like that. And dude, and I just love that direction they took. So it just surprised like the heck out of me. Like the most beautiful movie. And like, I'm a sucker for a beautiful movie. Like, because you're watching it at the end of the day, you want it to be like great and feel something at the same time. And like everything from like the production, costume, hair, makeup, cinematography right off the bat was amazing. But like Kristen Stewart as Princess Di, even like gorgeous, like
magnetic.
It was incredible.
Even
so like I said, it really cast a spell on me. And that's been my favorite movie. That's what I have at number one as of now.
Now, that's a great point you have. Like you watch a Malick film, like A Tree of Life or A New World, and those get they're spellbinding. And I remember watching Spencer, and it was just so magnetic. And I love the handheld camera work by Claire Mathon. Like even the dolly shot of her going to the Scarecrow to get her jacket. Like what a beautiful dolly track. Like they laid like a couple 100 feet of track to put that dolly on, and it's just beautiful. And the way that, you know, just the way they frame it like a psychological thriller too.
Yes.
And the soft lighting and oh my gosh, yeah, that movie, you're right. It did. I was able to catch a screening for it on the big screen, and it just immerses you into that world. And yeah,
immersive is the thing, and then like it still adds that like those bizarre elements of like the dreams and the dancing, like the soup eating and all those like weird things, but like just it kept surprising me around every corner. Like I was waiting for it to be like a traditional biopic, and it like turned into like this dark like psychological character study. I'm like, this is amazing, like not what I expected. And like, to me, I love surprises and I love anything different. To me, different is better. Like if you make a perfect movie, like it's a perfect movie that like I've seen before and you did it perfectly. But if you give me something a little, you know, rough around the edges, but like something I've never seen before, like a Barb and Star or like a Titane or something, it's like, it's better because it's different. You know what I mean? Like when you watch a movie, when I watch a movie, listen to music, when you see art, you know, like a traditional painting, like you want to see something that like you haven't experienced before. Like Absolutely. That's what's cool about watching it. So in that way, I went in for a biopic and that gave me something that like I'd never expected.
It was not walk the line at all.
Yeah. Yes.
And yeah, you're right. Like, those biopics or biopic, they definitely Yeah, I'm not. They're so kind of paint by the numbers. So I love that
Yes.
this director kind of went. I mean, he somewhat did that with Jackie, but he kind of turned it up to
Yeah.
11 here, and so I
Yeah.
really
Amazing.
dug that movie. But yeah, no, I'm glad I brought that right off the bat because we're talking
Yes.
neon movies, which
Yeah.
this makes me so happy that we're doing this because I love neon. Like I'm just
Yes.
uh like what like I remember. So I used to work in Austin. I have a friend who worked at the Alamo Draft House. And
Okay.
he was like, "Hey man, like Tim League, he's not with the company anymore. He's not with Neon
Must be a cool
anymore.
guy.
But yeah, oh yeah, Dave, yeah, he's on the podcast sometimes. He let's see, what did he do? He did Sorcerer 1977 with me. That's like one of my favorite movies. So yeah, he was like, you got to check out this movie Colossal because League started this new thing called Neon. They're going to branch out. And I watched Colossal with Anne Hathaway, and that movie just sort of blew me away. And then I was like, okay, Neon, like I see you. And then 2019 comes around, and three of my four favorite movies of 2019 were Neon. It was Apollo 11, Parasite, and Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Mm.
I mean, and then they 2020 was okay for them, but 2021, Worst Person in the World, Petite Maman, Titane, like Flea,
Yes.
like that's a fire year right
Yeah.
there.
Incredible.
And I do think too, you did a poll. You kind of did you recommended some movies on Hulu. You had your top
Yeah.
15 list, and a lot of people hadn't watched these neon films yet. So I figured let's
Mm-mm.
get together and let's promote some movies we
Yeah.
love.
That was a great idea. Yeah. I was like, we're looking at subjects to kind of talk about, which they're numerous, and you have numerous in your head, but that one just hit. It was like, oh, makes sense. Especially off the great year, we can promote the movies that we wanted to, where we were talking about on there anyway. And like you just said, they had an amazing year, last few years. So yeah, they've only been around like 4 years or something, huh?
Yeah, just nailing it. It's what a run. And I think people definitely compare them with maybe A24, but for
Yeah.
me, I look at IFC, A24, Focus, and Neon. I just love them all. Like they provide
Yeah.
such cool content. And
Yes.
I mean, the majority of my favorite films this year came from IFC and Neon. So they've just been lighting it up. So I mean, listen though, there's like, but they're not as no, like, do you think A24, right? When you think about A24, people know that brand. People,
Yes.
like, they
It's a
know
hipster brand.
A24. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, when you say Neon, what do you think? Do you think people know?
I don't think people really know. Like, it's actually funny that Neon is, or A24 is like, when you think about it, or like someone asks you what's A24, it's like, oh, it's a studio, it's small studio, independent that makes smaller things. But at the end of the day, like that's really the only studio people knows if they know a studio. Like, I mean, obviously people know like big name studios, but you don't necessarily relate a movie to a studio. You don't say, oh, that's coming out from Universal or that's coming out
Yeah.
from Paramount. But like when an A24 movie comes out, that's the only movie you'll actually call by like the studio. Like that's an A24 movie. No one says anything else. So it's funny. It's like low key, like independent-ish, hipsterish, but it's like it's the only studio that's really like a household name at the same time, and that people are like wearing dad hats and t-shirts of also. But it's not that small. I mean, it has the best picture
Mm-hmm.
winner as well. So yeah, it's funny, but their content is still what I love about it. It's like movies that a bigger studio wouldn't take on. But the thing that I love about it is like they make it feel big. Like they make those stories feel like, oh, big studio, you fucked up, like not taking this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. You should have taken Green Knight,
Yes, exactly.
And then Lowry takes what is essentially a shoestring budget and makes one of the most beautiful movies you've seen in years. And he just nails that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess, they just seem different to me. Like, I don't think I would love to see Neon get A24 big.
Yes.
And I think they're on their
So
way.
yeah, it's only been a few years, and I think once people like they actually have like they do a really good job on their Instagram.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, like just making it like cool, making their movies look cooler. And I think, Instagram's like modern marketing. I think that's a good thing. And, just getting the name out there a lot more because, I mean, the movies I think speak for themselves and they're all cool. They're all different. They're what this new, I think, age of movie watchers really crave when they go to a movie, something different. And, hopefully it's only a matter of time.
And I won't sound pretentious, but every year I look forward to the Neon box set that they send
Yeah.
me. Like, it's just when I know it's coming in the mail, I get so excited but they market it so well because there's years for it. So like this is year 5. And so, like, I have years 3, 4, and 5, and whenever it shows up, it's like Christmas for me.
That's amazing.
But like, I think they know what they know like, I think they're really learning their product. They know what they have, and I mean, their success rate is amazing. And one quick thing for you. So when you watch, like, this is random, but when you watch Pig, which was released by Neon this year, and you see Nick Cage's performance, you seem very like pragmatic when it comes to the Oscars. Like, I feel like you understand the voting. We were talking about Simon Rex. Like, he's not going to get nominated for
not going to happen.
But when you watch Pig and you see Nicolas Cage's performance, how do you not put him in the top tier? Did not many people does that, like, he should be up for Best Actor, I believe.
Yeah.
Like, how does that not happen?
Yeah, I mean, the thing I think with that is, I think there was 4 locks this year, if we're talking Oscars, like, and it's like those 4 were going in, Denzel, Will Smith, Benedict Cumberbatch, Andrew Garfield. So it's like the 5th was up for grabs, and like Nick Cage deserved it, but also like there was a Simon Rex, there's Bradley Cooper, Leo, like, Hollywood darlings like that. And I think it would have been like, the Oscars like hates fun. And they just want like these people, you know what I mean? Like, they want this formulaic like approach of like being predictable, and like Javier Bardem, who was in a biopic that wasn't good, but is a former Oscar winner. And it's just like, of course you like, but like, I think they could do so much favors for themselves, like putting someone like a Simon Rex in. Like, you want a younger crowd, like give the Green Knight a Best Picture. You know what I mean? Give Simon Rex a Best Actor that he deserves. And the 5th spot, like, make it fun, So, yeah, I think they just have a very, like, formulaic, like, predictable approach. Like, when you watch a movie, like, I love that, but, like, it's not going to get an Oscar.
No,
it's not going to get nominated for an Oscar. They're not going to look at it at all. But, yeah, I mean, Cage was a weird one because I think – Cage's looked like, you know what I mean? Like, kind of like ironically good, I think, to some people for one thing. But the guy has an Oscar, and he goes out and he does this role away from what everyone expects from him. And the role at the end of the day did have deeper themes and feelings. And it did feel to me like prestigious in a way, which that's the big word I use for the Oscars. Like, oh, it wasn't prestige enough. Like Barb and Star, isn't prestige enough. Or Red Rocket is about a sex work. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, the Pig did have that, especially his role, just the quiet, like emotion, like the themes behind his character and the movie. Maybe because it was like a first time director or something, and there wasn't a ton of big names behind it. Because I think all that stuff comes into play with the Oscars as well. Like, like I really feel with the technical awards, not that the actor's a technical award, but they like have this bag of Oscar Best Pictures, and they just pluck out the like sound editing, production design, whatever. Like, I think there should be like specialists in those fields. Like, do you think these people really know like the best technical sound? And like the cinematography, for instance, like the cinematography and production got the same exact nominees. So it's like, are you picking like technical cinematography, like we were talking about with Claire Mathon and the tracking dolly shots and all that? Or you just like, oh, that movie looked really good, so the cinematography must be good. I feel like there's no way like the same person picking actor and Best Picture know like technical elements of sound. So they need to have sound people, production people, cinematography, like scour like the best of that. Like, cause like Lamb had amazing sound.
Oh yeah.
But
wow.
Like that didn't get thrown in anywhere. And I think there's a lot of movies, but they're like, you know what? Belfast needs one. So let's give it this. Oh, you know what? Don't Look Up should get one, right? So I think they just kind of fill those technical elements, and then they cut them from the damn show. It's like,
no, absolutely. And two, like, I guess, maybe A24, they don't have the budget too, because you should see what Netflix sends out. Like, and like Warner Brothers, they probably just bomb people with swag. Yeah. And then just anyone can watch a Netflix movie at home. You got to go to the theater.